First of all, I want to say thanks to Ed and Sue. It's been a great weekend. I really appreciate everything you've done, and of course, everyone has mentioned this a few times, but I just want to reiterate it from the group. Also, want to say how great it's been to spend some time with, with Cory's family, with Brandon and Laura, Carla and the kids, having the opportunity to meet Crystal and John and some others as well. And then just a comment on the crowd in general. I mean, how much fun is this, right? To see, to see these different groups come together, right? I mean, I feel like I'm in a bar in Bloomington, Indiana, or Lexington, Kentucky, circa 1999, right? The music here, so. Just to introduce myself for people maybe I haven't met yet. I'm Josh. I lived with Cory for over 10 years. That's right, over a decade I lived with this guy, right? He was not on my healthcare plan. And I think this is probably my reward for letting him live in the 2-bedroom apartment that we had for half of what normal Chicago rent is. For letting him turn our place into an Amazon retail warehouse, flush with Chinese knockoff goods, also letting him keep a cat for that whole time, right? Because that's what guys in their late 20s that live together do, is they get a house cat. For those of you who don't know, my wife and I introduced Nikki and Cory. They kind of, they had met a few times over the years. But finally, one night in May of 2013, I think it was Memorial Day weekend, we were all out and decided to, try to play matchmaker for once, right? Now, when you play matchmaker with Cory, it's always on his terms, just like most things. So, and at that time, one of the rules of engagement was that you had to meet up at his natural habitat at that point, which was the Sweet Lounge in Old Town, right? We met up there, and Nikki and Cory started to kind of hit it off. I mean, Cory was doing all the right things. He went to the bar, he got a beer and a Pop Rock martini, right? Came back, he gave the beer to Nikki and kept the Pop Rock martini for himself, right? Because again, that's what guys do, right? They drink single malt scotch and Pop Rock martinis. Cory's one of the best people I know, and it's clear that when you have 9 groomsmen, that a lot of people out there care about you. And Nikki, just to name off a few things that I know you're going to love about Cory as a husband. One of those things, first of all, the guy's fun as hell, right? I can't go into a lot of the stories per Colleen's comments earlier, right? A lot of those are probably not appropriate for the group, but anyone that spent, got a chance to know him over the last any period of time really has probably got a top 5 story where he's somewhat central to it. So the other thing is he's self-sufficient, right? He'll figure out a way to make ends meet. As long as he has access to a Craigslist account and a Chinese vendor, he can live like a king, right? Let's take the P90X empire that he built out of our 2-bedroom apartment in the late 2000s. So, one other thing you're going to get is U2 tickets for the rest of your life. What you may end up with is 2 sons named Bono and The Edge, and you're probably going to listen to the Elevation tour DVD at least 3 times a month. But lastly, and this has been mentioned a few times, Cory's one of the most loyal friends in the world, and of those 9 groomsmen, I'm sure if you went around to any of them and asked who's going to be the first guy that you reach out to when you need something, he'd be right at the top of the list, right? Whether that means you're waking up in a bush at the Hyatt Ziva. I think that may have actually happened this weekend. Cory's the first guy there to help you back to your room. And Dave too, a good guy. Or if that's Cory showing up to the hospital when your first kid's born. Over the years, anytime something happened to any of us, whether we were in the hospital, having problems with our jobs, anything, he was the first guy there, ready to help us out, right? And not only that, but also getting everyone else in the group to get involved too. So, I mean, it's been fantastic getting to know you, Nikki, and I really am happy for the two of you. You know, Cory's one of these guys that sees the best in everything. He is, despite all he's been through, he looks to make it work, right? He takes care of the people that are close to him, and I'm sure you guys are going to have a fantastic life together, right? So everyone raise their glasses. Go a little Spanish here, right? Aquí son los blancos.
Cheers. I don't know.
One more time, brothers. Give a big round of applause for our best man this evening, Mr. John.